If you can't guess, it's Christmas week, and I've got the week off. Hello, everybody. I am in the middle of trying to do some boat projects this week because it's Tennessee and it's 50 degrees out, so it's pretty nice. This week I'm trying to put in what's called a mast raising system from Blue Water Yachts. So I'm sure any Macgregor owner knows who Blue Water Yachts is. They created this mast raising system for the Macgregors, and it is awesome. So basically, this is from the directions here. It's not a very good picture, but there's a gin pole here that has a winch attached to it, which there's my gin pole with the winch. And this gin pole is attached to where the forestay goes, and it stays there. It's actually tied and it just sits there with the winch on it, and then the mast gets raised right to the gin pole, which is pretty cool. It also has some side stays which keep the mast from going back and forth, because any of us who owned any Macgregors knows that there is a slotted mast base, and it's really awkward to try to get this mast up. After we tried to put this mast up a few times here and at the lake, it is an ordeal. So we went ahead and said, man, let's just plop down the money, let's get this system, and it's pretty doggone cool. This is the gin pole here. This is the mast base. It's a hinged mast base, so you actually put the mast in here, and like I said, the mast actually gets raised to the gin pole using a bail on the mast itself, so it kind of gets raised up. Actually, it should go this way like that. So that's what we're doing today. I really don't know what kind of video I'm going to make of this. I do have to put in some well, they're not cleats, but they're basically tie points for the side stays. I got to attach those to the deck. I need to pull off the old mast base and attach this mast base to the deck. I have to drill some holes in the mast itself for a mast bail, and I've got to put a bolt through to be able to hold these side stays up. And I've got the gin pole assembled, and hopefully we're going to get this done this week. I'm going to try to do some videos, but it's kind of not like sanding or any of that stuff where I can just set the camera somewhere and do some time-lapse video. I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can, but look up the mast raising system on Google and look up a gin pole and check it out. This was a little pricey, but I really think it's going to save our backs over time. So here we go. So here we are looking at the mast base. This is the old mast base. There's the slot there that I've been talking about. It's pretty cool because it has a bolt hole up here, and the actual mast actually for trailering sits right in here with a 1/4 inch bolt. And I actually liked that, although it was a pain in the butt to hook up every time we wanted to trailer it. The thing I don't like about it are these slots here. So this is the new mast base here. This is the new mast base. This is the front of it. This little thing is for the 26Xs and other boats. It really doesn't have anything to do with the Macgregor 25. Excuse me, I'm laying on my stomach right now. So this is ultimately going to go on like that. So it's got 2 bolts right here and right there. And if I turn this mast base around, it actually looks like it's going to sit in the original bolt pattern on the front, which is awesome. I don't have to put any more holes in the deck up there. But then the old mast base has a single hole here. And if you look here, this has 2 holes, which I'm going to have to drill into the deck and seal those really well, and then seal that one really well. So ultimately it's going to go on something like that. Then I have to put these, they call them straps, deck straps, which they will go out approximately 23 or something inches exactly from the center of the mast to the side of the deck. So they're going to sit down something like that. And that is what your adjustable side stays are going to go on. So I'm going to have to drill 4 holes in the deck for 2 of these on either side. First, of course, I got to get this old mast base off. And get up in here. Kind of a mess in here. So first, though, the compression post. I'm going to have to remove those bolts off the compression post, move this out of the way or back just a little bit so I can reach these 2 bolts for the original mast base. And there's the single bolt for the back of the original mast base. And then, like I said, 2 more holes are going to go in approximately there. So I've got my work cut out for me a little bit here, but I think this mast raising system is going to be awesome. All right, we're back. I've got some Frank Sinatra Christmas music going. Merry Christmas, everyone. Although, by the time I get this video posted, it probably won't be Christmas anymore. But, this is where we're going to start. So, we actually have the hinged mast base. It's basically going to go on like that, but of course I have to put it through the hole. It's going to sit on there, and this is going to be so nice because this is basically just going to hinge right up. I had to make some sound effects there. So that's first. That's going to be really easy. And then 5 foot 7 inches up the mast, I'm going to have to put in a 3/8 bolt hole for a 4-inch bolt, and this is going to be for the side stays. The side stays actually hold the mast from wiggling as it goes up, because on the Macgregor, you can't see it, but it's got a slotted mast base, and I don't know why they did that. Maybe somebody can correct me in the comments. So then, after I do that for the side stays, 72 inches up, I have to put the mast bail in. So, yeah, I got a friend. I have to put the mast bail in, and of course the mast bail is what brings the mast up to the gin pole that's going to stick up with the winch on it. So this is where we're going to start. We're going to get the holes drilled. We're going to get this mast base on. And of course, we're going to do a little time-lapse photography. Well, there's the old mast base. It's still on the boat. I haven't got the new one on yet. As you see, it's slotted, and I've always wondered why Roger Macgregor did that. So it really makes it wobbly. Maybe it's so the front end of the mast will go up a little bit when you're actually lowering it. It's the only thing I can think. Anybody got an answer to that, please leave it in the description down below. Oh well, over here we have got the bail on. I had to grind that part down. We've got the 2 shrouds on. Of course, those are temporary, so I got those just on temporary. And as you see, so the shrouds, they're not really shrouds, they're just like side stays. I need to not call them shrouds, but as you see, they actually will come out somewhere around 24 inches, and then this attaches to the deck right here. So that's going to sit on the deck. Oop, I actually might have that backwards. This has a nice little L to it, so I'm actually going to have to swap those. But they actually sit in those attachment points on the deck, and that's what holds this thing straight up pretty much. Which, wow, when you look at this mast, that mast bail is only 6 feet up. I think this is a 28-foot mast, if I remember right. So that's amazing that this can hold all that, but seems to work. So do have another problem though. This is interesting. So I put this mast base on. I actually had it tightened down, but I brought it back off. This mast base sits about a 1/4 inch off of the plate here. The mast sits about a 1/4 inch off the base. And it does that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I have a feeling that the previous owner cut this off, because I see a little bit of galling or oxidation here, and it looks like there was some saw marks here maybe, and then they sanded it down. That's the only thing I can think. I'm going to have to probably put a plate in there to make this solid. I think that's the only thing I'm going to be able to do with that. This boat sat on the Tennessee River in the summers, and then he pulled it up into the marina for the winter. So it did sit all summer long, probably into the fall, and we do have pretty warm weather here in Tennessee. Excuse me. Hence the pitting and everything on the keel, and I have a feeling this got oxidized and pitted, so I'm probably going to have to find an aluminum plate here and slide it in. And actually that'll be cool, because I'll put a little circle in that plate and get my $50 back in here per Poseidon's rules. Alright, so I guess next we're going to be putting a new mast base on, and we should be close to being done. I've got the gin pole done, and we'll probably do some time-lapse photography on the mast base thing, but that might be for another day. It's starting to get cold. Merry Christmas. Well, winter has finally, hopefully, subsided. We're getting a little bit of cold weather at night every now and then. Today, we finally got the mast raising system done. I got the new mast base on the boat, and we are going to try to raise this thing today. We've got the side support shrouds here. We've got this is the front line that attaches to the front cleat. I've got my mast raising pole here, ready to go with a winch on it. I've been working on the rudder. Now that it's warm, I can finally paint it. And we'll go over here. So we have the new mast base on here. See if we can get an eyeball of it right there. It's the new mast base, and I got it in the other day along with my side supports right there. There's one there and one on the other side, and we're about ready to put the gin pole, basically, is I guess what you could call it, up, and then we are going to attach the front line to the cleat up front, and then this is actually going to pick the mast up. So it's a pretty neat thing from Blue Water Yachts, the mast raising system for the Macgregors that they got. Pretty windy out here today, and I got a new microphone, so hopefully we aren't getting any wind in here. I can't wait to try it on the boat while we're sailing. So we're going to try to get this thing up today. Wish us luck. Well, it works. It is great. The mast raising system from Blue Water Yachts turned out really well. We were able to put this thing up after a little bit of rope issues, which I had this rope crossed with the other rope. But ultimately, I just wanted to show everyone how this thing went together. So, let's see if I can get a little picture of this. I'm going to let this down just a little bit. And so those side stays actually hold this up, and so the mast just raises up and down. As you see, my mast is going down. Very nicely. One-handed. I'm holding the camera with the other hand. And then when we want it to go back up, we just crank on the winch and it comes back up. It is amazing. Totally amazing. And I just did that one-handed. Blue Water Yachts is amazing. I've gotten several things from them and Todd at Blue Water Yachts. I just want to give a shout out to him because he has been awesome. Answered several of my questions on how to install this and the Mast Base questions I had. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him at Blue Water Yachts. And we are about ready to go sailing. I was able to get the rigging straight. That's another good thing about this thing is I'm able to pull this up, tighten everything, and I can lower it a little bit to adjust the shrouds and the backstay, forestay. Just awesome. It's a little pricey, but it is well worth the money to lower and raise this mast. We are so glad we got this. Well, thank you for watching, and happy sailing to everybody. Oh my gosh, this is a nasty job. I am furry.